Chilli in the name of...
At 2,000 degrees.
Hello again and welcome to Season 6, Episode 6 of Chilli in the Name of. In this week's episode, I'll be road testing two sauces by Shh, That's Hot, including Angry Ginger and Carolina Reaper Throat Punch. These two sauces were kindly hand-picked by Steve Berlant at the Old Agness Store. Again, thank you very much, Steve. These are they promise to be quite good. I love a sauce with a bit of ginger, and everybody loves a bit of Carolina Reaper. So without any further ado, let's get on it. The first sauce I'm going to try for you today is Angry Ginger. Angry Ginger is a habanero pepper sauce infused with ginger. There we see it there. There's the label up close. Yeah, it looks quite cool. It's got like an angry redhead dude on it. He looks pretty angry. Let's read a little bit about it. So it says habanero pepper sauce infused with ginger for a natural and sweet zing with your heat. It says it's all natural. Let's read a little bit about Shh That's Hot as according to the bottle. Co-founders Shane and Shelley, the Shh behind Shh That's Hot, have a passion for heat and want to share it with you. Our goal is to bring you unique, well-balanced sauces that are great as a condiment or to use while cooking. That sounds pretty good to me. So this is Shh That's Hot, Angry Ginger. It's got sort of a medium consistency. You can see it's a little bit thick in there. Have a look at that in there. See that sort of moving around. You can see it's quite chunky, a bit chunky. It's got some seeds in there. Yeah. Let's have a look at it. So it's a bit orangey. I guess that's good because that's Angry Ginger. So it's orangey, it's got ginger in it, and it's playing off the idea of the ginger, Angry Ginger kid, I guess, there. Let's give it a sniff. Yeah, it's a bit vinegar forward. I can smell the ginger in there. It's making my mouth water, actually. Let's pour it out. Okay, the ginger actually hit my palate before it hit my tongue. It went up in my nose, and the ginger's in there, and it's really quite gingery, which is great. Lives up to its name. There's some seeds in there, some consistency, a little bit sort of almost like an applesauce, but a bit thinner than that. But it's a really good gingery forward and pepper forward flavour as well. In it, it has carrots, distilled vinegar, habanero pepper, lime juice, ginger, garlic, and salt. It's pretty simple, but that's all coming really forward to the front of the flavours on this one. In terms of heat, I'd probably give this a 6 out of 10. The habanero peppers are quite strong in there in terms of the flavour. The ginger and lime juice is sort of right at the back there. What would I eat this with? I reckon this would be great on a rice dish, like fried rice with some pork and some prawns. It's really sort of geared towards Asian. You can have it as a dipping sauce for dumplings or spring rolls. And it's got that beautiful ginger flavour to it, so it lives up to the name of Angry Ginger because it's hot, it's orange, and it's got ginger in it, so that's great. The second sauce I'm going to try for you today is Shh That's Hot, Carolina Reaper Throat Punch. It says it's well balanced for a little bit of sweet and some extreme heat. It's got a Reaper on the front. That's to be expected. Most sauces that have Carolina Reaper in them will have a Reaper on the front. It does have a little warning label down there, a little skull and crossbones, and it says warning hot. It says warning hot down there in the corner. In terms of consistency, this one's quite thick, sort of dark, molassesy sort of colour. It's got a sort of almost a Worcestershire sauce colour, but it's thicker than the previous sauce by quite a bit. It's got that same sort of chunky sort of ness to it, but I can't see any seeds in there, so it's been macerated quite well. I guess we give it a look. Yeah, it smells very molassesy. Very sweet, burnt sugar, or toasted sugars. Can't really smell the pepper in there, but there's a bit of vinegar. Let's pour it out. Okay, got a good blob there. Yeah, the first thing I'm tasting is that burnt sugar, that molasses sort of flavour. Let's see what it's got in it. Distilled vinegar, carrots, molasses, peaches, water, Carolina Reaper powder, and salt. The molasses is really up front. It's really sort of very super sweet, sort of sticky sweet, like a caramelly sweet, cooked sugar sweet. The vinegar's sort of rounding that sweetness off a little bit, and then bam, right at the back is that Carolina Reaper powder. It's just, oh, it's sharp, and it hits right at the back of the throat. And it really does live up to the name throat punch. I feel a bit like I've been punched in the throat with that heat. Powder is always it always hits me with that strength. It's sort of an intensified heat from a normal Reaper. Yeah, it's really quite sweet, but it is really quite hot. In terms of heat, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. In terms of the intensity of the heat, is quite steady, and it hasn't really shifted from once it's hit me at all from anything from that. It's just plateaued. It's just sitting there. What I would have this with, probably with some ribs, something that's already got a bit of sweetness with it. You could probably have it with a barbecue, with some salads, some ribs, some brisket, something like that. So it's not the hottest burn I've ever had, but it is definitely, it's persistent, and it just sits there for ages. That's the nature of the powder there. It is second last in the list of ingredients, but I'll tell you what, this is very sweet. I'm not a huge fan of super sweet sauces, like sweet chili sauces. Just really don't sort of suit my palate. Don't like sweets generally, but this has got something really going for it. It's that molassesy sort of flavour, but with that heat right at the end, and it almost comes as a secondary thought to the sweetness of it. Yeah, this is really interesting. So there you have it, folks. 2 sauces by That's Hot. If I had to choose one, I'd probably choose the Angry Ginger sauce. It's sort of more towards my taste and my palate. I really love Asian food, and this sort of gingery Asian-y sort of bent on this one. I also love the colour of it, the fact that it's gingery. The molasses one is quite good too, but again, it's very sweet, and it's very thick, and it's sort of almost got a bit of a chalkiness to the texture, which I'm not sure how I would use this, but again, sort of barbecues and that sort of thing. Maybe next to a coleslaw to cool it down a little bit. And don't forget, folks, I'm running a leap year birthday subscriber drive giveaway. If you head over to the Facebook page, Chilli in the Name Of, follow the instructions there, you could be in the running to win a Cully's Firewater in a gift box set. So yeah, that would be really great to have in your collection, I'm sure. So head on over there, follow the directions, and subscribe and like and share and all the usual things. Thanks again to Steve Berlant from Old Agness Store. If you've got a second and you want to get some chili sauces, go and head on over there, because he's got a great selection, as well as his homemade brownies and all the other things that he sells. I hope you enjoyed this show. I know I certainly did. But until next time, see you later.
Chilli in the Name Of.